happen without fear or doubt. But life rarely works that way. Most of the time, the perfect moment never comes. And maybe it isn't supposed to. Maybe the biggest illusion fear tells us is this: wait a little longer, it's not the right time yet. At first, it sounds like wise advice. You tell yourself you need a few more months, maybe another course, maybe more experience, maybe more stability, and so you postpone it. Not for a day, not for a week, but for months, sometimes even years. Without realizing it, life starts passing you by. There are people who have dreamed for 10 years of writing a book, but they still say they aren't ready. There are people who want to start a project, but they are still waiting for the right moment. There are people who would love to change jobs, learn something new, or pursue their passion, but they are afraid, not because they can't do it, but because they can't guarantee the outcome. Maybe that's the real problem, not a lack of courage, but the desire for certainty. We would love to know in advance that we won't fail, that we won't be rejected, that we won't waste our time, but life doesn't offer those kinds of guarantees, and maybe that's exactly what makes it so valuable. The most beautiful things are built without certainty. No true friendship begins with a promise that it will last forever. No marriage comes with a guarantee that there will never be difficult times. No dream begins with an assurance of success. Everything begins with an act of faith, with one step taken without being able to see the entire road ahead. Maybe you've noticed that the people who succeed aren't the ones who had the fewest obstacles. They are the ones who understood that perfection is not a requirement for starting. Sometimes perfection is simply the result of many imperfect attempts. Imagine a sculptor. The first strike of the chisel doesn't create a masterpiece, neither does the second, or the 10th. But every strike matters. Each one changes something. Life works the same way. Every step you take today shapes the person you will become tomorrow. Maybe you've been putting something important off, and maybe every time you had a reason that seemed completely justified. But ask yourself honestly, if I stopped waiting for the perfect moment, what would I do today? The answer to that question says more about your future than all the plans you've made so far. You don't have to start with a huge leap. You don't have to change everything in a single day. Sometimes all you need to do is one thing. Write the first page, send that message, sign up for the course you've been putting off for months. Take a walk if you want to start taking better care of your health. Record your first video. Small steps may seem insignificant, but time has an extraordinary way of turning them into big results. A giant tree was once just a seed. A house began with a single brick. A journey of hundreds of miles begins with the first step. And every person you admire once had a day when they were simply a beginner. Maybe you are standing in that exact moment right now. Don't waste it waiting for perfection. Because perfection has a strange habit. The more you chase it, the farther away it seems. Progress, on the other hand, is always within reach. Today, you can be a little better than you were yesterday. Tomorrow, you can learn something new. A year from now, you'll look back and see how much you've grown. Not because you were perfect, but because you were consistent. Maybe the greatest regret people have isn't that they tried and failed. Maybe it's that they had the chance to try and let it pass. Life doesn't ask us if we're ready. Life keeps moving forward. The question is whether we choose to move with it or stay on the sidelines, waiting for a day that may never come. So, if you're still waiting for the perfect moment today, remember one simple thing. The perfect moment isn't the day when you're no longer afraid. The perfect moment is the day you choose not to let fear make the decision for you. And that day could be today. Could